You know which time of the day it is? It is the time where we continue with our webinar, and I can see that our next guests, I should say, have already joined us. Let me give you an introduction, Panu, before we say hello to your other friend as well. I don't unfortunately have the introduction ready for him or her. So welcome back again to everyone. Thank you for still being with us. We appreciate it, and we do encourage you to continue to ask your good questions for us. So with us here we have Panu. So Panu Hanola is the CIO of Musti Group. Musti Group is the leading pet care company in the Nordics. And Panu has extensive experience with transformation programs and IT management. Prior to Musti, I know you, Panu, you also had 2 group level CIO positions in multinational companies within wholesale and forest industries, very specific to Finland, and has also held key roles in logistics in several companies. And with this diverse background ranging from retail to manufacturing, Panu also has a habit of providing advice to startup companies. And I can see you also have a little friend with you, Panu. Hey, and please let us know who we have here.
Hi everyone, and nice to meet you all over the virtual network. And this is Mali. Unfortunately, this is not mine, but I think this really describes the close relationship with RELEX team, because I kind of borrowed this from one of the RELEX team.
You picked her up, one of the office dogs.
Yeah.
Wonderful. But hey, Panu, before I give the word officially over to you, I know you had argued that we should already have another poll at this point, I believe. So
correct.
If we can get the slide up with the or the poll up with the question. There we go. So the question that Panu raised was, do you have a puppy? So let's hear with the audience here what your views are. And Panu, can I assume that you are a dog person based on the way you phrased this question?
Of course, and puppies are kind of crucially important market segment for, actually the most important market segment for us. So keen on knowing what's the trend in this audience.
That is an interesting way to answer the question on whether or not you're a dog person. Okay, so we have the results already, and these are actually quite surprising to me. So we can see here that it's actually 46% of the people here who are cat persons. What do you think, Panu?
Well, it's interesting result, and let me analyze that during my presentation, and I can give you a bit more precise answer then. But thanks for asking and responding. It's a good start.
Okay, thank you, Panu. I'll give the word over to you officially then.
Thank you. And thank you for the kind introduction, and thank you for RELEX team for inviting me to this RELEX live seminar. It's my pleasure to be here and kind of share some, let's say, learnings and takeaways from our long-term relationship with RELEX, which has been, at least so far, pretty successful. What I plan to share with you is, first of all, a short introduction of Musti Group. I hope at least that Finnish participants knows us pretty well, as we are having pretty kind of long and strong presence in Finland, but I'm not sure about the other countries. So let me introduce the company itself, and also the kind of which kind of business environment we are having our business. Then secondly, I'll open you a little bit more about the infrastructure renewal, business infrastructure renewal, which was a core part of our transformation as a company and part of our growth journey. That leads to the touch point to our cooperation with RELEX, which I said has been pretty successful and kind of very consistent and evolving over the years. I'll share you some takeaways based on our learnings. And then as a last, I'll pick up a few examples of the latest development, kind of showing that what we have been doing just recently with RELEX, and there's still kind of long list of potential new areas where we can cooperate. So I'll share a few words about those and try to manage with the timing so that you have a chance to raise questions or comments or even challenge this topic. So really hope that you raise those questions very openly. And if we don't have time enough, I promise that we will respond those afterwards. Then after the presentation. Good. So let's get started. Concerning myself, I've been CIO of this company about 5 years, which is pretty long period as we are a growth company, and I have seen kind of one let's say strategy period from the very start to the end. So that's my kind of viewpoint of what I'm describing or sharing with you. So let me start with the Musti Group as a company. So we are, as introduced, we are clearly number one company what comes to the Nordic, pet care business. Our market share last year was more than 20%, so pretty strong footprint in our market. And one of the golden assets we have is the loyal customers. So we have more than 1 million loyal customers currently, and actually that number is steadily increasing, which we are very, very proud of. And on top of that, we of course are doing a lot of job to kind of strengthen the relationship with the existing customers, which in business terms means kind of increasing the share of wallet, which is one key target what we are aiming. Then a very crucial point and cornerstone what Mikko already introduced in his introduction speech, that we have transferred the whole company during the recent years from a traditional retail company to a true omnichannel business, and we believe that that's the winning recipe going forward. Meaning in practice that we have kind of having hybrid model. We have pretty comprehensive and wide store network, close to 300 stores across the Nordics. But at the same time, we have been able to develop the online business very strongly. Last year, representing already more than 20% of the revenue. So kind of we wanna, from the customer point of view, we wanna be channel agnostic. So it's really up to customer to decide which channel they wanna interact with us or use both channels simultaneously. Also, one of the very unique strengths what we have is the professional and the good advice which you can get, especially in our stores, but also in other channels. And that is very much based on our personnel, let's say, who are very passionate about this pet, let's say, ecosystem, as more than 90% of our personnel have their own pet, which of course gives a very kind of good foundation for this professional advice. Then, especially in these days where there is a COVID-19 crisis, what we have faced, all of us, a number of other, let's say, challenges in the market, the fundamental thing what everybody is looking for is to have a consistent and stable business, and that is something we have, let's say, been able to provide to the market, and also it's very much proven even through these COVID-19 Corona times. And there are a number of reasons. One key reason for this is that from our assortment, the food represents more than half of the whole assortment, and you know, pet needs food also during the bad economic times, and that gives a good, again, a good foundation for a consistent and stable business. And then lastly, we made already, or this company made already in year 2010 a kind of strategic decision to focus on the own branded products, and Last year, those represented already more than half of the whole assortment, again giving us a good weapon against tighter competition, which we are also seeing in this business segment. So all in all, very solid business portfolio, very good strengths, and that's why we have been growing so aggressively, especially during the recent years. Then, from the customer point of view, what was also referred to Mikko's introduction, we are on top of the kind of traditional product offering, which is also wide and very appreciated. We are very well known in this kind of professional advice, but especially now during the recent years, we have been able to transfer the company towards the omnichannel business, meaning that we can keep the kind of convenience from the customer point of view across channels. And we strongly believe that that's the way to go forward, especially if and when the competition will be tighter. And what I understood from the kind of presentations earlier today, that is something which a number of companies are either already developing or at least analyzing going forward. And on top of that, the growing importance is around services, which we have already a quite nice portfolio, and we are strongly developing those further. And those are nicely complementing the product offering, and also we can see that the more we have services, it will also correlate to the nice traffic and growth to the core business. So all in all, a good portfolio of kind of value add to the customer, or from the customer point of view. Then, like said, we have been and we are very much a growth company. There is a very strong track record, more than 30 years now, and on top of that, this transformation from traditional retail to omnichannel, which I think is even more important going forward. So pretty strong, let's say, footprint, and here you can see a number of, let's say, steps and actions we have been taking over the years. I'm not going to list all of those, but if I pinpoint a few of those, which are pretty relevant. So on top of this own brand product development, we have made a number of acquisitions, especially in Sweden. Based on that, we took the market leadership there. In 2017, we entered to Norway as a greenfield and has made a very fast ramp up in a new country. Today, we have already something like 40 stores, so pretty fast ramp up, and also kind of we proved to ourselves and the stakeholders that the concept what we have developed in Finland originally is very well applicable also to other markets. And then during the kind of, let's say, past 2-3 years, we have been focusing very much on the kind of online omni development and let's say customer engagement, which in our thinking are the crucial elements when we go forward to be strong enough with this fierce competition which we are all seeing, and with this transformation and with the kind of agility which you need to have in the market, as we have seen in this COVID-19 times. And lastly, as a kind of great milestone we achieved in this growth journey was in the beginning of this year when we made a successful IPO in the beginning of this year, actually 1 month before the COVID-19 really exploded. So we were lucky in terms of timing, and now we have been kind of public company since then, and continued a nice growth even during these times. So all in all, very solid story. So going towards the more to kind of RELEX capabilities and related to that. So we were partially forced, and we also made a kind of strategic decision in early 2016 to execute a kind of very comprehensive business infrastructure renewal. covering the entire, let's say, operations and operational model, which I'm going to open you a bit more during the next few slides. So yes, like I said, I joined the company late 15, and I made a quick analysis of the situation, and I realized that yes, the company had enormous growth and with strong figures, but from the operations point of view, we were more or less having a pretty chaotic situation. There wasn't any, let's say, group-wide processes in place. Group-wide solutions were lacking, pure data quality, etc. All in all, kind of crisis type of situation. And based on that, we made a strong decision, thanks to the support from management and our owners, to start a comprehensive renewal of the entire business infrastructure, having 3 key targets. Firstly, to kind of secure the business continuity, which was actually threatened during those days. And then the main target was to develop a solid, rock-solid business infrastructure platform to enable the step change in terms of efficiency and productivity. And then, as we were and we are a growth company, of course, the target was to develop a platform which enable us for future growth. So what we did, we simply renewed the entire business infrastructure, including the let's say basic IT infrastructure elements. We were very much focusing on the data. We covered all the operative processes, the whole application portfolio, all the integrations, and then during the recent years also we have pretty much renewed the online part and the customer engagement capabilities. And in order to execute this kind of and this magnitude of renewal, of course, it required a major renewal of competencies. And our schedule was pretty aggressive, so we made this happen. Kind of the foundation was built during 2 years. Third year was very much the kind of finalization of the renewal and also already starting to realize the benefits. And now, during the recent 2 years or past 2 years, we have been able to already scale up and carve out the benefits of this whole renewal. Very painful exercise, but now when it's mainly done, let's say crucial element of our growth strategy and execution. And part of this renewal, crucial part of this renewal was also the cooperation with RELEX, which we started somewhere in 2015. So joined with RELEX. Yes, it was very much or very closely linked to this renewal, overall renewal, because also in the area of supply chain we faced, based on this enormous growth, we faced practical fundamental challenges. Actually, 2 main challenges. Firstly, we were kind of losing capabilities to anymore provide reliable availabilities. And secondly, we were running out of resources because simply the company was growing far from the limit to anymore be kind of to have the control with the kind of setup we had during those days. Therefore, there was a, let's say, must type of need to do a step change, and during those days we selected RELEX as a kind of partner in 2 ways. Firstly, to provide fit for purpose solution in this area, to provide, let's say, tool set to manage the supply chain and the availability and bring efficiency. And also, one of the key criteria is to select a partner who can kind of help and advise and spar with us in this area. And also here we firstly built this strong foundation covering the kind of centralized replenishment part, the campaign management, the basic tools for supply chain optimization, and now we have been evolving that based on that strong foundation, and we have done a number of other joint development activities like the markdown, which is just kind of completed, and then development around the online forecasting models. And very interesting was the cooperation during this corona times. And for me, the kind of biggest thing out from this development is that we have been able to lift the overall cooperation from the traditional, let's say, software tool implementation to a level which is kind of very open, mutual joint business development, and I think that is something we should aim at with all strategic partners. Good. So what are then the key takeaways out from this joint journey with RELEX? So firstly, sounds very trivial, but it wasn't at all trivial, at least in our case, is the data quality. Meaning that in the very beginning, we faced the simple fact that our data quality was not kind of good enough, and we started to focus that a lot, and we are still doing that. And we believe that if you are good at data quality, it pays back in various areas, and vice versa. Secondly, we decided to focus very much on the internal competencies, so that we are in the driver's seat. RELEX is only helping us, and that has been also a winning strategy or recipe, at least in our development. Thirdly, especially in our case, when we did this kind of massive comprehensive renewal, it was obvious that we needed to touch the entire operational model, and that was also very good thing, because then we really thought thoroughly that what else needs to be changed than just the kind of core supply chain processes. Where we have been very strong, and thanks to RELEX team, which have been kind of also challenging us, is to set very strong and clear targets for the development. So there has to be a clear business case, clear targets, and the time box to implement something has to be very limited, and that has worked well as well. And what I also like very much is that we are not only focusing on the nitty-gritty details or some capabilities of the tools, but rather to understand the best practices from the industry, and that really leads us together with RELEX to have a good and joint business development level, which is much more valuable than just a kind of simple software or tool implementation. Then let me shortly pick up a few examples from the latest development what we have been doing with RELEX team. Firstly, the RELEX markdown optimization. The challenge we faced was related to outgoing items. I think this is relevant for a number of you as well. We set a critical joint business development with RELEX, having clear focus, targets, KPIs, and business case. Fast delivery, it took for us, or we defined 4 months time to get first results out, utilizing, of course, the strong foundation we had already, and combined with the RELEX kind of good knowledge from the RELEX team. And we are actually just finalizing the project as we speak, but the initial result and feedback has been pretty positive, and we see clear potential for future. So really good initiative, and encourage all of you who are thinking about this area. So please have a try and set the clear targets. The other area is kind of omnichannel, from the omnichannel or online area. Very classical challenge, having this kind of omnichannel business model, both stores and online. We have 5 online channels, 2 central warehouses. So how to secure the availability across the channels while you need to still optimize the supply chain? And here we trying to develop the channel-specific forecasting models very successfully, and especially because the online is so important also in our business, and it's growing fast. So without this, we wouldn't have been able to secure the availability so well as we have been doing during the recent times, including the COVID-19. Which is the last example, which is pretty interesting. We were kind of learning this from this a lot. So basically, like we all have faced a number of changes in the market due to this COVID-19. There are good things, there are bad things, there are a lot of variations. And what we did with this was that we organized a 1-month joint exercise where we sit down with RELEX team, use the advanced forecasting models to simply mitigate as much as possible the market changes and again secure the good availability. Very good exercise, and especially very good learning that how fast you need to react and how well you can utilize the capabilities you have if you just focus together with your partner. Lastly, I want to shortly kind of pinpoint the future potential development areas. There are a lot of those, but these are the kind of main ones. Certainly, we will focus more on markdown capabilities. Big theme is assortment space management. By the way, if there are in audience organizations which have gone far in this, I'm really interested to have some discussions with you, because we see that this is one of the key areas for future. What we also have started with RELEX is the kind of more advanced machine learning forecasting. That's really interesting area. Of course, we will focus on the data side, utilizing the data analytics capabilities we already have. Workforce optimization is also relevant, and data quality, that's my favorite topic, and I think that we need to keep as long as we have some issues with data. Thank you. That was all I planned to share with you, and I'm happy to take any questions or comments, which I guess there is at least some already received.
There is one about your fluffy friend. No, I'm just kidding. They're focusing on you. They're focusing on you. Okay, so the first question is regarding the e-commerce part of your business, Panu. I think people have been paying close attention, and there was a lot of valuable information here. So they're wondering, are you using RELEX for the e-commerce part of your business? And if yes, how was that journey compared to traditional brick and mortar?
So the first part was that are we using RELEX in the e-com part, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So like I said here, we have had, let's say, one joint exercise with RELEX exactly due to the fact that because 4 years ago the e-com was kind of also in our case not so relevant, and the volume was so much lower, so it wasn't in the focus. But then when we made a strong development and we acquired few businesses, so the importance raised totally in the different levels, and from that end we were forced to kind of also focus on the kind of availabilities and supply chain point of view, and therefore we had this joint exercise together with RELEX to define and develop the channel specific forecasting models, especially for online, and that has been very successful. Not saying that we have done everything we can, but that was a good start.
You have to start somewhere, and that leads very nicely over to the next question, which is also about how to get started and how to continue. So we have a question from the audience for you, Panu, looking for your advice. When you were undertaking the technology transformation, was there a specific and deliberate sequence in which you replaced capabilities? For example, did you take the ERP first, and was there something that you learned that you would have done differently if you would do it again?
Very good question, and I think there isn't any single or truth. You need to think about your let's say, business environment, your legacies, etc. But how we did it, if I simplify, how we did it was that we started with the, let's say, the lowest stack of the technology, meaning the basic infrastructure, networks, workstations, the securities, etc., so that there is a kind of connectivity layer and very basic stuff. Then the next phase was the data and the core solutions including the ERP, yes, and right after we started to kind of implement the, let's say, value add layers like RELEX, VMS solutions, etc. And the last part has been the online and the customer engagement related solutions. So there was this kind of sequence.
Very good. Thank you for the clear and rather short answer. We have one more question that we would like to raise with you before we have to take a short break, but there is a question. I guess this is probably related to your RELEX implementation, but I'll let it be up to you to interpret it. So the question is, what improvement areas will you be focusing on in the near future?
Well, I already showed the one slide, and this is the in terms of the.
We're not seeing your slides anymore, just so you know.
Yeah. So kind of if I pinpoint in the area of potential cooperation with RELEX, I think the assortment space management is one. Yeah. Then the workflow optimization is two, and most likely the overall utilizing the strong foundation and the data we already have within the, let's say, RELEX ecosystem. There is a huge opportunity to utilize that kind of more aggressively, and that I'm looking forward to together with RELEX.
We are looking forward to doing it together with you, Panu. Thank you so much for taking the time to come here today and for petting our dogs. We are going to move to a break. There will be 3 minutes where we're asking you to take the technical breaks you need, grab some coffee, and we'll see you then. Thank you, Panu, and see you guys in 3 minutes.
Thank you very much.